be educated, but I'm so frustrated. Hello to my loneliness. I guess that ignorance is bliss. Take me back to before I knew. Rewind, take it out of cue. Innocence can be a young man's game. Signed up for the hall of shame. I wish I knew.
What's up, y'all, and welcome to another weekly vlog. Woo! As you guys know, if you've been watching me, I'm in a contract right now with this community hospital in the ER holding patients. So that's where we're at today. I have 5 patients today. Normally down here they like to keep us at 4, but they've been kind of not necessarily short staffed, but there's been limited bed availability upstairs, as well as since this is a small hospital, they only have a limited amount of like telemetry monitors and stuff like that. So sometimes patients don't get rooms upstairs because they don't have any monitoring devices to monitor them if they need it. So I have 5 patients down here. I actually worked this week, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Today is Thursday. Yet on Tuesday, I was like sick, so I didn't want to vlog. And then here we are today, Thursday. What I was about to tell y'all. Hold on. As y'all just saw, someone brought us kolaches. So that's what I'm about to eat. I actually came in here to eat something else, but hey, I'm gonna eat the free food first. So I'm gonna be chowing down on. My patients are okay today. It's not like a lot to do for them as far as like meds and labs and stuff, but they're like needy. Like they want like simple stuff, which can be annoying at times because it's like, why are you calling me for water when you have water right there? Things like that. But I think I'm just like a little bit irritated today or something like that because I'm like, why y'all getting on my nerves so much? But they're okay. I already had to like redo like 2 IVs today. I don't know what, it seems like days have trends like what's wrong with people. So like last week, if y'all remember, I had a day where a lot of people were like vomiting and things like that. Well, this week or today rather, it's like, oh, everybody needs a new IV. The IV's not working when I get here. So one guy, his IV, he pulled it out because he was over here fidgeting and stuff because he had to use the restroom, but he's not able to do so. So they had to consult urology for him, and they ended up taking him to OR. Luckily, I went ahead and had put a new IV in like beforehand, 20 gauge, because he needed one for surgery. He's already like gone like a while ago. Then a patient next door to him, her IV wasn't working when I went in there to give her meds. And I'm like, oh, here we go with this today. Like I said, it's little stuff. But they're all stable. They're fine. It's really just me. So, I'm going to finish eating this. I kind of like keep y'all updated as the day goes on. Anything interesting happens, I'll get back on here. This is like hot, so I'm like throwing it around in my mouth. But yeah. All right, y'all, so we're on break. I just finished eating lunch. I have like maybe 15 minutes or so left. But I was just coming on here to tell y'all that the drama continues. My patients, I have 2 patients that have a conjoining room. They're the only rooms like that in like the ER. They're both complaining on each other about how one person is always on the phone, they're always talking loud and all this other crap. So of course I'm just like listening. I'm like, okay, you know, I understand, blah, 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 that stuff. So I go over to the other side and I'm like, hey, when you're on the phone, do you mind trying to lower your voice as you're sharing a room with another person? And then she's like, that lady's always on the phone, blah, 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 blah. So basically they're both complaining about each other. So I'm just like, how much longer do I have in the day? Because I don't have time for this. Other than that, all my patients are fine. It doesn't seem like anybody's really going to get a room. And if they do, they were saying that maybe it'll be like in the evening. So we'll see. That's perfectly fine with me, because then I can send them up and hopefully not get anybody new by the time it's time for me to go. So today's actually going by like at a good pace, considering that I'm not doing much. It's already like almost 2 o'clock, so I'm looking forward to it, because once again, I don't want to be here. Like, you want to come and make your money, but like you don't ever really just want to be at work, you know what I'm saying? So today's going by at a good pace, so I'm glad about that. Like, if anything else interesting happens, I'll let y'all know, but it's been pretty chill so far. I'm knocking on wood so I don't jinx myself, but so far so good. And yeah,
Signed up for the Hall of Shame. I wish I knew how much I miss not knowing that we're all screwed when we play our roles and ignore the problems. I like to be away in my patience. Stay up, I feel so outdated. How can we look the other way?
so pretty much done with the day. It's almost 6, I think, but I've already did my last set of vitals, gave everybody the medicine and things like that. I'm just waiting to pass out the dinner trays to my isolation patients. Today was all right. Like I was saying before, it seems like things always come like multiple. So like another one of my patients had lost their IV and I had to put another one in today. So that was the third one. Like the third patient today I had to put in one on. So that was kind of annoying. And then I remember I was telling you guys about how 2 of my rooms are connected and they were complaining about each other. So they're having the OA come down and talk to them or whatever. So these patients have been in the ER for a long time, like more than 24 hours. So a lot of them are not, happy, but there's no rooms upstairs. The only people that's getting rooms are ICU patients. So I'm curious to see if these people are going to be back tomorrow. Like if they're still going to be here when I come back in the morning. So I'll let you guys know, but I'm going to end today here and then I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hey y'all, so I'm coming to y'all now because some shiznit happened at the end of the shift, per usual, because that's when stuff go down and I jinxed myself today. So that patient that I told y'all had been complaining all day about the other patient in the room and yada yada yada. So towards the end of the shift, they said, remember I said they were going to send OA and all them by to check in on her, to listen to her complain or whatever. So they went in there or whatever, and she tells them that she fell today. And then so they're like, oh, did you know anything about it? Not nothing like accusatory or like anything like that. They're just like, she said this, like, what? And I was like, yeah, I didn't hear anything about it. And I was like, when did she fell? And they were like, earlier in the shift. And I was like, that's crazy. She ain't said nothing to me all day. And so I'm kind of like thinking, like, when would she have done it? Because earlier in the day, she was over here, oh, my bed is dirty, blah, 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 this crap. And the thing about this thing, the patient, is that she can walk and stuff like that. So, and she's using a Purex. So really, you shouldn't even be using a Purex. But that's what she requested, so they put it on her. So I got her a bedside commode earlier today because she said she had to have a bowel movement. And I changed her bed like twice today. And so did the tech, come to find out when we're putting the stories together, right? So she's like, I went back in there after they told me that. And I'm like, well, hey, when did you fall? And then she said earlier during the shift. And I was like, yeah, like when earlier in the shift? Like what time? And of course she didn't remember the time. So then I'm like, okay, was it before or after I brought you the bedside commode? Or was it before or after I changed out your bed? Because she trying to tell them that she changed her bed. I was like, when did you change your bed? Because I changed your bed twice. And she couldn't basically like get it together, because then she's trying to say it was before I bought the bedside commode. So I'm like, before I brought the bedside commode, you was in the bed. Well, no, one time I found her, she was in the chair and I changed her chair. But I don't think, and then that's when I brought the bedside commode. So she's trying to say it was then. But she didn't tell me nothing about it. So I was like, okay, so why didn't you tell me anything? Well, I didn't want to complain. Girl, you've been complaining all day. Now is the time you choose not to complain. So I'm like, we need to check your spine and all this stuff, like make sure you don't have a fracture or anything like that. And they're like, oh, okay, whatever. So then I go back out there, and I was telling them, like, now that I'm thinking about it, if she was to have fallen, like, wouldn't the patient next to her have heard it, since they've been complaining about each other the whole time? And even if she didn't tell me she fell, wouldn't that patient have told me that she fell, or she heard some noise over there or something of the sort? And then I was like, the way the rooms are, it's like so congested on her side because they have them separated by curtains. I'm like, if she would have fell, that curtain would have moved like towards the other patient bed, or like she would have like hit something, you know, it would have made a loud noise. And I'm like, that's suspicious to me, because I'm like, neither one of them said anything, and y'all been complaining about each other the whole time. Like, come on, bruh. So then, like, they were thinking about it, and they were like, oh yeah, that does make sense. Like, they were already suspecting, like, the story was fishy, right? So I'm like, I'm gonna call the doc. Like, the manager came by, and she was like, yeah, did you know anything about that? And I'm like, nah, like, this is the first time I'm hearing about it. So I went ahead and called the doctor, see if she wanted to get ordered, and then like I wrote the note, and then I wrote the little patient safety crap or whatever. So now, like, when the manager was over there, the tech was over there with me, and we're comparing stories. I was like, I didn't know that the tech had changed her bed today, but apparently she did. So then there's that. And then come to find out, with night shift, like, one of the night shift nurses was like, oh, he don't want 12, and we're like, oh, why? Like, and I was like, yeah, she's a mess or whatever. And then he's like, yeah, like, that lady, apparently she's been here before. She's known to throw herself, like, on the floor, like, when she's upset and don't get her pain medicine. Like, she's been in the ER multiple times before, and they remember her. And then the charge nurse was like, oh, if I would have known that, I would have never called, like, these people, whatever, like, that's her normal behavior type of thing. And I was like, so the plot thickens. So now it's kind of like a suspect or whatever. But on the patient safety thing now, they didn't have this before, but they have it now where you can put, like, you suspect that the fall was intentional and not, like, actually accidental. So I went ahead and put that, like, because they were telling me before, like, they was having problems with her. She has history of bipolar and things like that. So that's how the day ended. Like, the tech was like, are you going to get in trouble? I'm like, I don't really care. Like, if I haven't gotten in trouble when the patient has fallen and stuff before. Sometimes you get like, oh, you should have had this, you should have had that or whatever. But that's more so on the floor. Not like in the ER. There is no fall mat. There is no bed alarm. She had the call light. She already had called me to go in there. I already went in there. Like, so the measures that are in place in the ER was already in place for her. So she should have just waited like she waited all the other times when I came in there in a timely manner. So I'm like, if I get in trouble, like, ain't nobody gonna say I'm gonna get in trouble because I'm helping them out. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, even if I did get in trouble, I don't care, to be honest. So that's that shift, y'all. So that's the end of the story. So I thought I wasn't gonna talk to y'all no more, but I definitely have to come back on and tell y'all that before I forgot about it. So I'll be back there tomorrow. I don't know if I'm gonna get the same patients back because it looked like they were getting some rooms tonight. And I know for sure they're trying to get 12 out of the ER, so she'll definitely be upstairs. But I'll come back tomorrow. We'll see how tomorrow goes, and then we'll be off for the weekend. $44. Oh, cath lab orders. Thank you. Okay, real quick. It's not even 9 o'clock yet. Things are going down. So I have 4 patients today, which is yay for me because lately we've been having 5. So today I have 4. One of them I had yesterday. She's supposed to be going for a heart cath today. Before the heart cath, she's supposed to be getting dialysis. So dialysis is actually ready for her now. Consent signed. The thing about it is that she's currently in AFib, which is part of her history. But since this is a smaller hospital, they have like a shortage of telemetry boxes. So I think they have like 50 or something in the entire hospital. So they kind of have to like meet criteria to put them on patients basically. So The problem is when she goes to dialysis, she won't be monitored on the heart monitor like she is down here. And she's in AFib and her heart rate's already elevated at 120. She didn't take any of her medications this morning because dialysis, and then, you know, I think I still would have gave her some stuff if it was just the heart cath, but like dialysis told me just to hold off on her meds because a lot of them was like blood pressure and stuff like that. So I didn't give anything. So heart rate's 120s. You have the issue with not being monitored, blah, blah, blah. So what they're trying to do is, instead of her going up to dialysis, they're trying to have her get dialysis done in one of the rooms down here. So the problem with that is that all the rooms are full, right? Pretty much with whatever nurses are staffed, whatever. So they're trying to get a patient down here where they don't have to be on telemetry. We could just take them off the monitor and then we can move the patient into that room. So the problem with this is that dialysis only does dialysis in certain rooms, which is why we're gonna have to switch the rooms if the other person can come off tele. So there's that. Also, that patient right now is COVID, so they're gonna have to clean the room, and dialysis has to be done before the cath lab, which is scheduled at 1. Boom, nursing, bro. Like, so that's what's going on right now. In the meantime, one of my other patients is discharging. Everybody's already medicated except for the first lady because of the situation. So I tried on everybody but one of the last ones. Like the people who are leaving or potentially leaving, I already tried it on. I didn't try on the last one because she sleeps. So I actually didn't not familiar with her yet, but I'll just go ahead and put something down just so she got something. But the one I was supposed to be discharging, I had to hold off on discharging because that doctor has to put in like outpatient PFTs because that's what the patient requested. But it was like a whole mix up, like who's supposed to do that? Like the guy who told her about doing it, she thought was going to do it. Like I was trying to clarify with the patient, like who's putting the order in? Like, do I need to ask the doctor to put the order in? Like who does that? So charge nurse just messaged the doctor because he had already left the ER after putting in discharge orders to let him know he has to put it in. So y'all, this is like literally like nursing, bro. Like who said what, who does this, trying to figure shit out and all that. So fun times. It's 9 o'clock. It's still early as hell. Like we got a long way to go.